Welcome back to another unboxing video where I make old family recipes. So today's recipe is cookies. I almost lost the recipe. Cookies. I went with this one because I know how to make cookies more than I know how to make butterscotch and melt sugar. And this is pretty simple. It's just eggs, sugar, water. It says lard, but I looked up a substitution, so I'm using butter. Baking powder, soda, and flour. So sounds like a pretty standard cookie recipe, and it sounds basic enough that if I wanted to, I could add other things to it, like chocolate chips or mint. That's what I was looking for, like chocolate mint pieces, anything like that. So I'm really excited because it's simple. I know how to do cookies, and I know I'm not going to burn them this time. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started. First thing it says to do is 2 eggs, which I've got right here. This is a nice big mixing bowl. Just need that in there. Egg 1. I'll leave that open for now. Oh, I've got an eggshell in there. That's not what you want. And egg 2. All right. Things are going great so far. So this is a pretty standard cookie recipe. 2 cups of sugar, which I measured out beforehand. It's not milk, it's sugar. This is a pretty standard cookie recipe, but I'm a little surprised it doesn't have brown sugar in it, which is something that my mom's chocolate chip cookie dough recipe does have that this doesn't have. 1 cup of water. So I don't know what kind of cookies these are because the recipe just says cookies. I'm thinking it's probably going to be kind of like a sugar cookie, but I don't know. And that's another reason I wanted to do this, because I have no idea. 1 cup of melted lard. This is 1 1/4 cups of butter, which was the conversion that I looked up. Oh, good stuff. Lard. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Is this a teaspoon? Yes, it is. I got new measuring spoons and cups when I moved in, and I still don't remember what colors they are, even though it's nice to know that they are different colors. 2 of these. This is already going so much better than the butterscotch because I actually know what I'm doing. All right, so there's the baking powder. And it says a pinch of baking soda. So I probably shouldn't reach in there. Just a generous pinch. I might give it a little more than that. Just a pinch of baking soda. And then the next instruction is flour to make dough. So what I'm going to do first is I want to put together all the ingredients I just put in, because I want to break up those eggs and get that sugar working in there. I have made cookies without an electric stand. It's obviously not as fun because after you add the flour it gets a little rough. But it's a nice workout. And also, I don't know, it feels more authentic. That's not the word I'm looking for, but I like the way it feels to do actual manual stirring. Also, mixers are loud and not necessary. Alright. There's a clump of baking powder right there. This is also the simplest cookie recipe I found. There were a lot of I think there were pineapple cookies and chocolate cookies and actual sugar cookies, and I wanted to try them, but they all needed cream of tartar, which I did not have at the time. So I went out and bought some, so you can look forward to that. I also saw some like pineapple treats. I don't remember what they were, but I'm interested in trying those as well. All right, here we go. I'm just basing off of when I've made cookies and how much flour we need. That looks close. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. Yes, I bought all-purpose flour, bleached flour, not whole wheat. Sorry. It's a little cheaper, a little easier to find. Even though this is a simple recipe, I've already gotten flour and eggs on the counter. Good stuff, good stuff. I also have no idea what this is supposed to look like, but I know what cookie dough is, so. Oh, I should probably be preheating the oven, which the temperature is not on here, but I do know from making cookies that 350 is kind of the right time, and then 8 to 10 minutes. So we're gonna start the oven on that. This is starting to look like roux. I think that's what it's called. This also reminds me of like bread dough. Take a bite. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to decide, because it's not gonna be the same as my mom's chocolate chip cookie recipe. Like, obviously it's not gonna, but it's still kind of not the consistency I'm looking for, so maybe just a little more flour. That's a lot. That's a lot. Too much gene. All right, so I'm gonna leave it be, because I think any more it'll be too stiff. I'll put my flour back in the cabinet. In the cupboard. Why is my vanilla up there? Over here. That's another thing that I'm surprised about. My mom's cookie dough recipe has vanilla in it, and this doesn't. So we add our eggs, our sugar, our water, the lard, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We add our pinch of soda. Sorry, my computer is like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep, even though I know you're recording. We're still going. We're still good. I need to change some settings. So we added our flour to make the dough, and now we need to put it on a pan. I have some cookie sheets. Ow. And a cooling rack, which I'm going to put over here. Now, the recipe says to roll and bake in hot oven. Well, Grandma Marguerite, we don't have to roll anymore. We have the technology. We have cookie scoops. So, I actually broke this cookie scoop last time I was making cookies because there were big chunks of chocolate chips, and I went to scoop it out, and the little movie bit hit a chocolate chip and just like it didn't pop out of place, but it got out of rotation. Like it rotated out of the spoon bit. So, but I was able to fix it, so it's okay. So this should work perfectly for this. I'm not quite sure how many cookies I can fit on this tray yet. I only had it like, it's a small cookie. I've only had it, how long? Maybe 2 weeks. I've only really used it once. So, I think 12 will be more than enough. Because I also don't know how much these will spread. They're looking good though. You okay, Cookie Scoop? Sounds like it's dying a little bit. That's okay. Still doing its job. I just think I got dough on my foot. Oh well. So the oven's still heating, so what I'll do is I'll prepare the pan. I might have to move them over for the next one. I'll prepare 2 pans and get to baking. It's gonna be it's gonna be a couple minutes for the oven to finish heating up and then the cookies to bake. So I'll come back to you when I have a batch done, and then come back to you again when they're cool and I can taste some of them. See you then. Alright, I had set a timer on my phone for 9 minutes, I think. So I'm gonna go grab the first batch of cookies and we'll look and see what they look like. Ooh. Those are looking pretty tasty. This is like last time where I poked something and burned myself, but I'm gonna give them 2 more minutes because I think they're not quite. They don't look 100% done because they weren't entirely like golden around the edges, which is not like a universal measure, but that's the way I usually do it. And also 2 minutes shouldn't burn them. It should just finish up that last little bit of cooking that needs to be done. So we'll check in again in 2 minutes and see if they're done. Who's ever heard of an 8-second ad? Like, I guess there's some on YouTube, but I'm more like familiar with the 5-second ad because anything longer than that is just cookies are done. All right, we'll just stop that timer, put our lemon mint back on. Oh yeah, that was a good call because now they feel and they look much more cooked. So 11 minutes it is. I'm gonna put these on the cookie sheet, put those in the oven, and make a whole batch of them, and then come back to you guys when it's time to taste test. I'm really excited. These look really good. Ooh, I don't have anything to make frosting because I don't think they have powdered sugar. I'll look into that. I'll see if I can make frosting because that would be really good on these. All right, see you in a bit. One interesting thing that I think I should mention is that no, I do not spray my cookie sheets, and no, I do not butter them up, and no, I do not put any sort of wax paper on them. You don't want to do that. I mean, I'm sure it's fine if you do it, and most people do, but when I was growing up and we made cookies, we never did anything to the pan. You just, like, obviously you'll clean it, but it'll get more worn down the more you use it, and then it'll be easier to scoop things up. So I know probably people are like, why aren't you spraying your pan? Well, first of all, I don't have any spray. I don't have any cooking spray. And second of all, I'm just holding up 2 fingers. Second of all, I just never have, probably never will unless the instructions explicitly say so. And these instructions don't even tell me the temperature of the oven, so I'm not gonna spray it. I guess Grandma Marie got the last lot. I am gonna have to use my fingers. Alright, just finished with the timer that just went off. Let's get those monster cookies out of the oven. Oh, they're not done at all. I'm gonna pop these back in the oven, but we're gonna do a taste test on those cookies, all of which are cool because this is gonna be too much, but I can eat a couple of those. 1 second. All right, let's give them again, I'm holding up 2 more minutes. I'm gonna give them 3 because they were already in there for 13, so that makes it 16, which I think is probably gonna be a little long, but I'd rather have those a little overdone. All right, let's pause the music and get to taste testing. Let's move this a little bit so I can stand and taste test. All right. So, as you've probably been seeing, these are the finished cookies. They're cookies. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. They're very pale. I showed some pictures to my friends and was like, I made cookies. And she's like, they're so white. Like, it's probably 2 cups of sugar and then all the flour I dumped in, especially because it was white, enriched. So these definitely turned out better than the butterscotch did. I'm really excited to eat these. Here we go. Pretty good. I think they're sugar cookies. I take that back. I don't think they're sugar cookies because not only are they like they're thick, they didn't expand as much as I thought they would. So I was like, oh, maybe they're sugar cookies. I put a lot of sugar in them. They look like sugar cookies. They kind of tasted like sugar cookies. These almost taste more like biscuits. I wonder if that's because the amount of flour I put in, or maybe it's the how much soda I put in, because that's not, she didn't give me a measurement, she just gave me a pinch of soda. So yeah, this is a good recipe. Definitely gonna keep this one. I feel like I'm not reacting as much as I did with the butterscotch, but the butterscotch was just bad. The first batch was bad and the second batch was mediocre. These are just nice. I feel like I just went out and bought some cookies. That's what this tastes like. It's like, this is what I want right now. So this is one of the cookies I had to spoon out with my finger. They're not like show-stoppingly good. I wouldn't take this to the fair. This would not go to Ribbon. This would not go to the state fair. But it's just like a nice cookie. And you want a little bit of sugar, a little bit of sweet, but you don't want... Oh, the big boys are done. Yeah. That's better. I don't know. Turned off the oven so it doesn't catch on fire. But as I was saying, these are like comfort food cookies. They're just a little bit of sweet. They're not too razzle dazzle. They're not surprising. Sometimes I feel like I've had cookies and I expected them to be one way and they were another. These are exactly what you're looking for. You can probably taste these cookies at home. Like just by looking at it, you can probably taste this. They are a little chewy. I think that's the word I'm looking for, chewy. Kind of sticking in the back of my mouth. But I mean, like, they're good cookies. These are pretty good. I'm just gonna enjoy this because the butterscotch didn't turn out, but these did. Right. A little hard to chew sometimes, but maybe I'm just weak and tired. And again, that might be something where, like, next time I make them, I might put less flour in them so they'll be a little softer. I'll put more flour in because I didn't write down measurements. That seems to be a problem. I should really start writing stuff down if I'm ever gonna make these. I could just reference my own videos. That's what I should do. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I know this is not like as scandalous or intense as the first episode, but like these turned out really nice. I wouldn't change much, except next time I make them I'll probably measure stuff out and then experiment from there, try and figure out how much a pinch is, how much flour I need. But like, I'm super pleased with these. They're just a good simple cookie. I've been saying, you just need a little something. They're not too heavy and they don't have any sort of like surprise, or like when you have a chocolate chip cookie, there's a lot going on. It's like chocolate and the cookie. This is just the cookie. I'm rambling at this point. The point is, these are good cookies. I'm gonna definitely keep this recipe and probably experiment with it again in the future, just making sure I get the same measurements written down. But thank you so much for watching. You can engage with the video if you want, you don't have to. But I'll see you next time, hopefully with something not dessert related. I'm thinking about doing something like some of the foods in there. I realized tonight as I was making dinner that I'm kind of running out of things to eat this week, so maybe I'll try one of the main courses, maybe one of the meats, maybe one of the salads, maybe one of the soups. There are several soup recipes in there as well. So I think next time we're going to do some cooking, shake it up a little bit, see how well that goes, because I'm not a cook. And if they're as vague as this and the butterscotch were,
that's going to be really interesting, really high stakes, because if I get it wrong, I'm still going to eat it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.